Have you guys ever given donations to those who are in need? Today we're going to be talking about Korea's angel dad, who turned out to be the biggest two-faced criminals ever. Not just a criminal, but what he did was so sick, it's so scary to imagine. Was he acting? Or did something happen along the way that made him change? I have a question, y'all. Do you guys use deodorants? I made a video a couple months ago where it kind of went viral, where I said Koreans don't really use deodorants because we don't really need to, but recently I've been using deodorants. Yes, I know, it was hot, sweaty, it's summer. Thank you to Nita for sending me these plastic-free deodorants that smells amazing. Whew. It's non-sticky, it dries quickly, it's vegan, and my biggest concern with deodorants is the fact that you can't get rid of it when you take a shower, but these are so easy to rinse off. These are deodorants that are plastic-free. All you do is push the bottom here and it goes up like this. My favorite scent is citrus and herbal musk. Ugh. The ingredients are aluminum-free and paraben-free. They also use coconut oil and shea butter. My mom and I just had a conversation about how plastic is literally ruining the planet, so I am doing my part to change a little bit as well. I can walk around it smelling amazing, sweat-free, and I really don't feel the product at all on my body. That's one of the greatest things. 3 of the plastic-free deodorants are normally $39, but with my linking code down below, you guys can get it for $29. That's 25% off, so check out the link down below. This story has so much layers that they call this the onion story, where you peel it and peel it and peel it, and shock factor just does not end here. So Lee Young-hak, we're gonna call him Mr. Lee. At the time he was 23 years old, and here in the documentary he is explaining about how desperate he is to find help for his daughter. His daughter had something called, I'm gonna totally say this wrong, gigantiform cementoma, a disease in the jaw/mouth that creates tumors in the dental area. Apparently this is hereditary, so she got it from her father Lee, who also had it when he was younger. Mr. Lee also claims that he has many sicknesses himself, including epilepsy and schizophrenia. He claimed that he was sick, he doesn't have a lot of money, so he has to work a lot and still support his whole family. A lot of people felt very sympathetic towards Mr. Lee's family. In the documentary, you see the daughter, her name is Ayeon. She's going out and people are staring at her, and her mother claims that she has no friends. She's not able to eat properly and has to take medications. Also, for her to eat and do anything is really painful for her daughter. He's also seen praying at the church. A lot of people sympathized with him as he was young, he was a hardworking father, and he was able to get a lot of donation money from the public. It was estimated that he received about $1 million, which was big enough to help him set up his own chicken shop, help his daughter get, the surgery that she needed, and to move to a new house. And it was like he was given a second chance again. People were even more moved when reading his book about his daughter, as in the book he stated, "I wish to be born as your father again." The daughter Ayeon was also named the angel girl. The nation was shocked that 12 years later, this sick criminal, one of the craziest stories you'll ever hear, was the same person. On September 2017, a middle school girl named A was declared missing. She never came home and her parents got worried, so they reported it to the police. Now, A's mother found out that the last person A was with was Ayeon. Now, she has grown up and she was also now in middle school. They were both school classmates and it was reported that they were in a great friendship. A's mother asked on the phone if she has seen A, where Ayeon replied that she didn't know, and A told Ayeon that she was just gonna go see some friends and that's all that she knows. In the group chat, Ayeon even joked around to her friends, "I'm sure she's alive, LOL." Police took a look at the CCTV outside of their apartment and saw that A and Ayeon entered their apartment complex but never came out. The next footage is a little bit disturbing, where they see Ayeon and her father Lee carrying something very heavy, put it to their trunk, and they're seen driving somewhere. Yeon was the one who wanted to invite some of her friends to her house, and A was the only one who responded in the group chats. So it's reported that Lee was the one who actually picked A out of the photos that Yeon provided for her father. Yeon said that these are a group of my friends, which one do you want me to bring home? Supposedly, Lee wanted to bring one of Yeon's friends home because he wanted a mother figure for Yeon. Yeon's mother actually passed away 1 month before this incident, and we're gonna get get into that in a little bit. When inside, Yun told her friend to drink the health medicine that her dad always drinks. A being, a good friend, and when a friend, offers you a drink, he would drink it, and that's what she did, and she quickly fell asleep. This drink was actually infused with heavy sleeping pills. Then Lee took her to his room, took advantage, and sometime later she woke up, and this is when Lee says that he got scared that she would report it to the police and had no choice but to end her life. All meanwhile, Yun, his daughter, was in the house. Police found that he had a lot of toys inside the house, adult toys, and they actually found no DNA of Lee inside A's body. So it means that she was not violated, but that was because Lee actually had a dysfunctional problem. So that's one of the reasons why he had a lot of toys inside the house. They later drove somewhere to discard the body and burn his evidences, all while his daughter was helping. This is just the beginning to the story, and something strange is happening to Lee. Also, right after he discarded the body of A, he is seen making a selfie video to his deceased wife. He is crying, but it seems like he has no tears, and what he's saying really doesn't make a lot of sense. And it's as if he is mourning to the whole entire world, and before he ends his videos, he always says, "Thank you, everybody," like he's some kind of a YouTuber. So who is Mr. Lee, and what is up with these strange, odd behaviors? In the psychopath test in Korea, he is known to have scored a 25. One of Korea's darkest, most infamous criminals are said to have over 25, like 27, 20, 29. So he is pretty high up there. Now, I don't know how they do the psychopath test. I think it's just like a professionals who review all the documents and things like that and just scores what he would be on. I think that's how they do it. On the documentary, he is seen as the angel father, but on the internet, on his private social media, he calls himself a 36-year-old bad boy. He had tattoos that covered his whole body. Not saying that you should have stereotype for those who do have tattoos, but you guys might not know that in Korea, having tattoos is still very controversial. That's why on TV, if you do have any tattoos, you're supposed to cover them up. He also rode many fancy cars, including BMW and Audi, and flashed them on social media. And he was under suspicion that he was using the donation money to buy himself nice cars. On Twitter, Lee also uploaded that he was looking for roommates, where he offered personal room, a bathroom. This person must be kind, learn how to do tattoos, have determination, and must be of age 14 to 20. Someone with school or family problems, he will pay up to $800 a month, literally targeting those that was his daughter's age. Although just seeing it from this pose, it does seem like someone that wants to help kids who ran away from school or family problems. So was he really doing this to help runaway students? It was also revealed that he actually did not even operate his chicken shop really well. He always came late, never maintained his shop, and even made rude comments to his staff. Since Lee was a kid, he ran into many criminal activities such as bullying other kids, making very inappropriate jokes and comments to girls, but he was never punished. At first, when Lee was arrested, he tried to give the excuse that, he just left his sleeping pill drink out and that the girl just drank it and she just ended up passing away and it's not his fault. While he was being arrested for A's death, he's seen on the news talking about, "Please help me find out the truth about my wife's death." It's almost as if whenever something bad happens to him himself, he always talks about his wife and how much he misses her, and that everything happened because he really loved his wife. So who is the mysterious wife to Mr. Lee? Did he really do all of this because he really is grieving his wife's death? Miss Choi was married to Lee, and she actually met him when she was only 14 years old and had a baby when she was 17. 1 month prior to A's incident, his wife, who was only 32 years old, committed self-harm. But there is a lot of unanswered questions to her death. It is widely reported by her friends and family that Miss Choi was a very passive, quiet woman. But in contrary, she also had full body tattoos that covered like her whole body. It's something that even her friends did not even know about her. Some of her tattoos included very distressed, dark art. I won't mention what kind of art that was on there, but let's say it was just dark. Also, her family members said that she was forced to get her plastic surgery on her chest because of her husband. A couple days before she passed away, I believe some of her friends and family found out that she was being physically abused by Lee's father, so her father-in-law. She tried to report this to the police and tell her husband, but her husband did not believe her, saying that, "Do you have proof?" When Miss Choi supposedly self-harmed herself and fell to her death, Lee did not even come outside to see where his wife was. He just reported it to the police, and he did not even come downstairs until the police and ambulance arrived. A lot of people thought that his behavior was very odd. I mean, your wife that you love just passed away, and he's seen literally just on his phone, talking to someone, calling someone. He was not crying, there was no tears. Shockingly, police found some videos of Miss Choi doing things that it seems like she didn't want to do, and both of the couples were selling these videos online to make profit. There was supposedly a goodbye letter by Miss Choi, but this letter was typed on the computer, so police can't even confirm that she actually wrote this. But in this letter, she says that she decided to take this decision because she was abused by other people. She doesn't specify who, but that she was just abused. Miss Choi, right before her death, was seen buying milk and cigarettes. So could she have really wanted to end her life, or did something happen inside the house where Mr. Lee was involved? Many people think that this letter was typed by Lee in order to not have any suspicions targeted toward him. The allegations were true because in the autopsy, they actually found the father-in-law's DNA inside of Miss Choi's body. Now, when this evidence was presented to the father-in-law first, obviously flat out denied that he had any involvement with Miss Choi, but after this DNA evidence was revealed, he all of a sudden backtracked and says that there was a consensual relationship between him and Choi. A lot of people question, what kind of daughter-in-law would want to be involved and be consented to be romantically involved with the father-in-law when you have a husband? It just doesn't really make too much sense, and that she just happened to mysteriously self-harm herself. A lot of people also question, why did Choi never get help? Why did she never reach out to her friends or family if something bad as this was going on? Now, it is said that Miss Choi herself also grew up in a dysfunctional family, so she ran away from home when she was very young, only 14 years old, and that's when she met Lee. Do you guys see the puzzles fitting here? His wife grew up from a dysfunctional family. They met when she was 14 years old. Lee himself tried to help out dysfunctional teenagers himself, and by the time she was in her 30s, because she just spent her whole life in this kind of way, she didn't know how to reach out for help. And at the end of her life, she did try to get help, but no one was supportive of her, and even her father-in-law doing that to her, it probably made her think that she has nowhere to get help. This guy really wasn't even covering up his tracks because he wanted an alone time with his wife's body. Obviously, a lot of family want to grieve and things like that, but he filmed himself talking to his wife's dead body, and doing weird things to her dead body. He filmed all of this. He filmed it for 1 hour, and he is seen doing just bizarre behaviors. Going to Mr. Lee's daughter, Ayun, there's something very, very suspicious about her as well. After professional profilers reviewed the whole case and they saw the interview of Ayun, police claim that she might have something called the Stockholm Syndrome, where you feel positive feelings and a special bond with your abuser/captor. Professionals say that she has an unusual attachment to her father, as if she's under total control from him. It was reported that she told her friends, my dad can't sleep if I'm not there, so she would run back to the house at a certain time. When her father needed something, or when her father told her to do something, she was always there, no questions asked, and she did it willingly. According to professionals, starting from her disease, she believed that without her father, she would die. In the police investigations, whenever the police would talk something a little bit negative or something that he did that was very criminal, she would defend her father, saying that no, he's not like that. He did all of this because he had a reason. Even when she was alerted about her mother's death, her friends and family says that she had no emotions. She acted almost identical to her father. It's still almost impossible to imagine in a normal mind that even if you were so attached to your father, the fact that you would help out murdering your own friend means that she absolutely had no attachment to anyone else but her father. Now, it is a mystery of how she was actually brought up and how Lee treated her and, you know, what he said to her in order for her to be this attached to him and to really defend him and to be okay. But because of that, a lot of people believe that she is also a victim of her father. I also have a question. Do you guys think that criminal behaviors are hereditary, or do you think it's manipulated and influenced by those around you? In trial, Lee used his disability as an excuse, but was finally sentenced to life in prison, and the daughter, because she was only a minor when this happened, she only received probation. The last location of her is that she's living with a relative, which I don't know why she would even send her to a relative. I think she should be rehabilitated by professionals. Ultimately, a lot of people who donated to Lee and his family thought that they were doing something good for someone in need, which they were in need at the time, but they turned out to be murderers and cheaters. There is a lot of people who are actually in need, but people like these who abuse the system put a bad taste in those who actually really need help. How do we distinguish that from the beginning? We really can't, technically. If I had a child, I would not send my child to a friend's house unless I know the parents very well. I met them before, I talked to them on the phone. To think that your own child's middle school or elementary school, high school friends can't even be trusted is very scary. So thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment down below of what you guys thought, and see you guys in my next video.